The newest Barrell Bourbon Batch 37 is the oldest barrel batch since 2021. Just how good is it going to be? Let's find out. What is going on, everybody? Nathan here with the Everyday Drinker. Everybody has a brand new video. Today, we're doing a review of this bad boy right here, and I'm very excited to get into it because this is the brand new offering from Barrell Bourbon Company. This right here is batch number 37, which is going to be the oldest batch since batch 28, which was released in 2021. We've got some really nice old juice in here: 10-year Kentucky, 8, 11, and 12-year Indiana, 13, 14, and 15-year Tennessee, rounding out with a proof of 111.38. Now, previously we've had some batches that were a little bit on that younger side, and now we're getting some older juice in these batches, and that's exactly what Barrell wanted to do in these blends, and I can't wait to get into this one. And we've got it poured for ourselves right here, and I'm very, very excited to get into this. And thanks to Barrell for sending this my way to give you guys a full, honest, and true review. I wouldn't be accepting these bottles from companies if I couldn't give you guys a true and honest review. So, without further ado, let's get in the nose of batch number 37 and see just what we're looking at. Right off the bat, you can definitely tell that this is a little bit older. I get a little bit more of a sweet oak off of this. Previously, I went into some other batches before I got into this review to see what we were looking at with those younger releases. And you got a little bit more of a brighter aspect from those. Some of them like 31 and 34, you get a little bit of some darker notes. But this one right here, you definitely truly get that oaky vibe that comes off of this with some of that older whiskey in this blend. Really nice orange notes. I do get some really nice baking spices, a little bit of a sweeter cinnamon, some more star anise in there, a touch of a leathery note, brown sugar notes. If you took the coffee crumble off of a coffee cake and you just had that really light, airy, cakey cake underneath of it, that's what I'm getting off of here as well. I don't know if I'm technically really getting a coffee note off of this. It's just that really sweet vanilla kind of cake that comes off of this. It's really, really nice. I dig this nose a lot. It's really nice. It's bold. It's not super proofy at 111 proof. You can really dig inside of this thing and see what it's got to offer. I almost get a little bit more of like, it's interesting because now diving into this again, I'm kind of getting a little bit like a sweet lemon zest. Really, really interesting. That kind of rounds everything off. This is a very, very interesting nose. But before we get into the palate, I've got some news for you. I've been talking about it for quite a while now, and I'm super stoked to finally announce that we are doing a barrel pick with Cedar Ridge. And one of these 4 samples right here is holding my next barrel. And I know which one it is, but you guys don't. To get in on this first, you got to get in on the Patreon. The link down below is for that, to get your first dibs on this Cedar Ridge barrel pick. That is an absolute stud muffin of a pick. I can't wait for this thing to release. You don't want to miss this thing because one of these 4 is an absolute bomb of a bottle that, from Cedar Ridge is going to be not super expensive, under $60, and you don't want to miss it. Check that link out down below for the Patreon for your chance to get in on this next barrel pick from me, Nathan, the Everyday Drinker. But let's get back to the review. All right, everybody, here we go. Cheers to you, and let's see what this bad boy is all about. The first thing I have to say about this thing is the initial palate is absolutely amazing. It's sweet, it's viscous, it's oily, and it's oaky. It kind of reminds me of a double oaked bourbon in a way, because you get marshmallow vibes and some toasty vibes off of this right off of the bat that kind of cover the entire top of your tongue and kind of make you salivate a little bit. And it's really, really interesting. Kind of fades off quickly on the finish on this, but the initial palate is really, really good. Let's go back in for a second sip and see what we're missing. The sweetness on this is like I said, I went in on other offerings from Barrell, and I put 28 in that. And this drinks so much older than what it is. It's so balanced. It's really, really like sweet on this end, but then oaky, and it kind of just marries so well in the middle where you're getting a little bit of a vanilla vibe. Some of that lemon zest is there as well. And you got that oaky char toastedness that kind of just like folds and meets in the middle, and it's kind of battling in on your tongue a little bit. And I kind of like the battle that's going on there. It's really, really interesting. It's a fun sip because it's so interesting. And a lot of the times on these, you can kind of find the dickel, right? That Tennessee whiskey is 99% of the time dickel. And I'm not finding any dickel, any minerality on this. And I think it's because we're starting to get some older whiskeys that are blended into this bottle that from other distillates from Indiana and Kentucky. And, we get some Maryland, some Wyoming. And for me, this right here is one of the better batched releases, probably since 31, in my personal opinion, off of those initial sips. Let's go back in again. I'll tell you this, the drinkability factor of this bourbon right here puts it up there. It is an absolute dime of a release because we're getting some older whiskeys in this blend. And there's nothing wrong with putting younger bourbon in a blend when you're a blendery like a Barrell is. There's nothing wrong with that because you can kind of hide that in with the older bourbon. But when you take older bourbons with older bourbons and you blend them together, you get this happy marriage that, oh, I'm from this distillate, but I'm on par with you, and let's find a happy place to where we're both, mending together. And I feel like when you're taking older and younger, they kind of fight a little bit and they don't have this same happiness that this bottle right here has. And I think for $80 to $90, the age statement on this, the proof point on this, the enjoyability of this bottle, it's an absolute must get in my personal opinion. It's a great, wow. And just the initial sip of this, as soon as it hits your tongue, kind of gives me a lot of happiness. It brings me a lot of joy. And it kind of just brings me into what, those older releases like 31, one of my absolute favorite releases ever. Absolutely insane. 28, really, really good. 32, pretty good. But I think that with this right here, you're going back to what Barrell initially wanted. And I think that they hit it out of the park with this bottle right here. Let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts are on this bottle. I know a lot of you guys are hit or miss with Barrell, right? You've had a couple of other batches that you don't think were on par for what the price was. I'm telling you right now, right here, right now, on this review, this is an absolute steal of a bottle, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. But make sure you guys check out that Patreon link down below, because if you don't want to miss out on, my next Barrell pick, you're going to want to join in on the Patreon for as little as $2 a month. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Until next time, this has been Nathan with the Everyday Drinker. Cheers.